I'm going to do a favorites video about a bunch of different series that I've put on my YouTube channel page. If you scroll down on my main page, you can see my likes and dislikes. And these series are all basically, I think, maybe Twilight's not on there because I'm not as big of a fan as Twilight as I was. So, but I always find it interesting to see how a writer starts doing her stories. So this book by Stephenie Meyer, the official illustrated guide, is about, she tells about like where she got the ideas for some of the things, like, well, it's got everything in there really. It's got all the backstories of characters and stuff like that. It's got all the characters in all the series, even the short second life of Bree Tanner has even got characters from there. And there's a picture I want to show you in here. It's of Laurent. I'm sure these pictures in here are by Kim Young, who does art and stuff for Stephenie Meyer. That's James. That's not the one I'm going to show you. It's Victoria. This is Laurent. And in the movie, Laurent was black, but he was kind of French sounding, and Laurent is actually from France, so it works out. The movies are never quite like the books. I own all but one of the illustrated books of Twilight, and it's because I write fan fictions, and I like to look back in the books to see things for certain and stuff like that. So the next series is the Inheritance series, which I have constantly been bothering Joey Graceful about reading this. He's another YouTuber. You should check him out. He's in my other channel, Thingy Majiggy. He's a friend of mine. I get to say that, but I've never met him before. This one's named Eragon. They made a movie about it. And of course, you know the movie's about Twilight. It has pictures in it from the movie, which I don't own the movie because the movie was not good. If you've seen the movie before you read the books or like whatever, the whole like Varden area, it was not supposed to look like that. There was supposed to be freaking huge mountains, which there's no freaking huge mountains that you can actually take in, you know, the world that these people actually lived in. They lived in this little hill inside a big hollow mountain, and that's not the way they portrayed the city in the movie. So that was disappointing. Nobody liked the movie. But this is the first one. If you look for this, Christopher Paolini is the author. You know who the author for the Twilight books are, I'm sure. Either that or you really don't care and you really hate Twilight because they sparkle. Anyway, he started writing this book when he was 16. He didn't publish it until a few years later. But to start writing a story like this and coming up with like your own language and your own idea, that's really interesting to me. Because I write too. I write fan fictions. I have a hard time getting original ideas down on paper. Like, I have it in my head, it's just not coming out in story form. So this is the first one. It's called Eragon. They probably don't have these anymore because nobody liked the movies, and the movie was coming out when I wanted to buy the book and read it, because I think I got it from the library or something the first time. It's blue. It's got a dragon on it. The second one is Eldest. It's red, obviously. And the third one, I don't know if they have it out in paperback yet, but it's yellow goldish, and it's called Brisingr, which is Christopher Paolini's word for fire in the ancient language. That's what he calls it. This is a picture of Christopher Paolini. I say it looks like my ex-boyfriend. Sort of. If my ex-boyfriend were only that smart. And it's got a map in it. Yeah, this is the first book with map in it of Alagasia. And in the back there is a thing where they tell you how to say the words in the ancient language, tongue, kind of dialect, whatever thing. The next series that I have here is the Alex Rider series. The first one is Stormbreaker. The second one is Point Blank. And the third one is Skeleton Key. And when I started reading them, I read this one first. And I didn't know the next one was Point Blank. Because, like, I don't know, the one I read didn't have, like, all the books in front of them. Because I got it out of, like, a high school library. So they didn't have Point Blank. Someone else was reading it. I'm like, I really like these, so I'm going to read the third one that was there, which was Skeleton Key. So they started talking, they talk about the other books in each different book. They're really easy reads. If you're a younger person, you'll like these books. Because it's about this teenage boy who's 14 years old. He works for MI6. He's like a teenage spy. So, yeah. Those are those. And, oh, probably should tell you, if you want to read these, you need to know the author. It's written by Anthony Horowitz. And that way you know how to spell it. Oh. I'll put in the comments about the books and who the authors are, so we can get this over with. This is by far, probably my favorite series ever. It's called the Sword of Truth series. Oh, I'm getting off track. Sorry. Went by too fast. They actually made a movie of Stormbreaker. I didn't know about it until after I started reading them. So I had to, like, watch on a video and stuff. And my cousin, she likes the same kind of books. She liked Twilight, and the Alex Rider books at the same time. So we had something to talk about. It was cool. I don't get to hang out with her a whole lot. She lives in another state than I do now. It had Alex Pettyfer in it, who was in I Am Number 4. This one, obviously. If they called it Operation Stormbreaker, I don't know why they decided to call it Operation. I'm trying to think of the other movie he was in with Beastly, with Vanessa Ann Hudgens. And all those are, like, based off of books, which is really interesting. That's why I like Alex Pettyfer. He always does movies that are, like, based off books. Except for, like, I don't think he did a movie called, like, Tormented or something. It was, like, some horror movie where he was, like, a bully, and along with another people who bullied someone, and I don't know what that was really about. It may have only been released in England. I don't know. He's an English actor, and I have a huge crush on him. Oh, I love Alex Pettyfer. And I thought it was really interesting because the actual actor's name is Alex, and his first really big movie was called Alex Rider. It's the same first name. Now, going on to this book. This book is written by Terry Goodkind, and the first book is called The Wizard's First Rule. It's more adult than the others. It's kind of like Breaking Dawn. They said that was more adult. It's because it has more, like, sexual themes in it. More serious, darker themes. Serious. It's not like Alex Rider, where he's just a spy and he goes and he always beats the bad guy. It's not like that. It's a lot more complicated, and it's a big, thick book. But if you're around 20, which is how old I was when I started reading them, you can read about this much in one day, because that's how interesting it is. It's got magic. I love medieval fantasy things. That's what Eragon's based on. It's got an imaginary land. They've got maps, books, and stuff they make up. So that's the map. You've got the Westland, Midlands, and over here's Dahara. And then you have the old world down here. Called Wizard's First Rule. It's really interesting if you can read something and take a story and put it into your own life and your own experiences and things like that. you can learn a lot from that, and that's why I like them. Even though it's a completely different world, I can relate to it. The second book is called The Stone of Tears, and then you have Blood of the Fold. I just finished reading Temple of the Winds. But there's more than that. There's like Pillars of Creation is the next book, and I'm going to try and read that, along with a few other books. So, I think that's all for now. If you made it through this video, definitely give it a thumbs up, favorite it, leave me a comment, and you know, all that good YouTube-y stuff.